Just wanted to take a quick time here. I've got three tips. That's what this video is going to be about today, is three tips to start downsizing without becoming overwhelmed. Okay, so it's going to be three tips. So we're just going to take a couple minutes and I'm going to talk to you a little bit why I'm talking about downsizing a little bit. We all get to points in our lives where the kids are older, if you've had kids, or you just get to a point like I'm almost 50, I'm 48, almost 49, but we've already accumulated stuff throughout our life that now aren't as necessary as what they were when we accumulated them. So things that maybe a kitchen gadget that we had to have and we used it and it was great and now we're on to something else, right? Or you have five crock pots because you didn't want to get rid of the old one because you might need the old one, and now you have five crock pots just because you've accumulated crock pots, right? It happens over life. You get new ones, you get things as gifts, that kind of thing. So, um, a lot of times people get overwhelmed with the thought that I have all of this stuff and I don't know what to do with it. Okay. And they want to simplify their life. Kids aren't home, or, kids aren't home and they just don't need it anymore. They don't entertain or feed or cook like they used to. Okay. So I'm just kind of, this is something that I see every day. In real estate, I see it. I also see it up at the community center where I work, is that people come in and they're just downsizing and they're trying to, when I say downsizing, that's a general term. Um, Everybody downsizes every day. But it's just something that we do to part with our stuff. Okay. And it's good to start and it's good to do this throughout, because as we start preparing for end of life, which I know that's a subject nobody likes to talk about, but it is a subject that really needs to be talked about, because we all, I mean, what do they always say? The things is there two things certain in life: death and taxes, right? So, and I do see this a lot as well, is where people come in and they've had a loved one pass away and now they're just trying to figure out what to do with their stuff, you know, and they don't want to part with their stuff, their loved one stuff, because it was their loved ones and it meant a lot to them, or it was their stuff, right? But let's just say, how attached are you to five crock pots? I mean, really, honestly, but they want it to go to good use. Okay. So this is something that we can do now to help the process. And this is something that I've started myself now. It's stuff you can do at any point in your life. They always say after you retire, you clean every closet and then you move on to something else. So, this is something that we can continue to do. So maybe, it's not so much that you're downsizing, that you want to downsize because of, you're getting to that age, but retirement is coming and maybe you want to travel and you just want less clutter, less stuff to have to worry about in your home, or, just have less stuff. Okay. Um, so I'm just going to give you three quick, easy tasks that you can do, tips that you can do to get yourself started, get the ball rolling, because you didn't accumulate the stuff overnight. I said that in the last video, but you didn't accumulate the stuff overnight. You're not going to get rid of it overnight. Okay. So, one of the first thing that you can do to keep yourself from going into this overwhelmed brain of, oh my gosh, I got the garage to downsize, I've got the attic, I've got the shop, I've got, for me, it's the horse barn. I've got all those kind of things to downsize for. I got the basement, it doesn't matter. I got however many closets, I have a 4-bedroom house with, they each have a closet. So there's 4 closets, right? Plus a big walk-up attic. So you can accumulate all kinds of stuff, right? So here's what my first tip is. My first tip is to make a list. Make a list of what you want to see, and it doesn't have to be in any given order. Just pull out a piece of paper and a pen and be like, okay, I need to downsize or I need to get rid of some stuff out of the attic. I need to get rid of some stuff out of the porch or the basement or the garage, or just whatever you want to start with. Just Start jotting down every closet that you want to clean, everything that you want to be downsized, everything that you want to get rid of some stuff in the kitchen. You want to get rid of some of your kitchen gadgets. Maybe you have I don't know, an Instapot that you don't use. I had a bread machine that I just got rid of. I got it as a wedding gift. I used it a ton. I don't make bread like that anymore. So I got rid of my bread machine. And so there's just things that you can do to start this process and without being overwhelmed. But just start making a list. Which rooms, which closets, and it doesn't have to be in any chronological order. Okay, jot down the list. All right. And you can do this in three different parts too. If you want to take 15 minutes and just jot down your stuff and then walk away from it that day, by all means, do that. Okay. The next step is now taking this list that you have made, because you have every nook and cranny that you want to clean or organize and just kind of weed out some of that stuff. Okay. So now prioritize what rooms you want to do first or what space you want to do first. And then I would prioritize it by big job or small job. So we all agree the garage is probably going to be a bigger job than maybe your bedroom closet, right? So big job might be clean out the garage, small job, closets, okay? And I would do two separate categories like that. In fact, I've done it this way. I just do two separate categories. Okay, so here's the running list of what we need to do here. Here's a running list of the things that I can just do, squeeze in here and there and do myself. Some things you need help with, some things you do not, right? Okay, so prioritize that list. Figure out what you want to start with. If it is a bigger job that might take you a weekend, then go ahead and plan that weekend. So prioritize the list, figure out what you want to start with, then prioritize the time to get it done. Okay. The little stuff you can do on a weekend, or maybe even if you want to pencil out an hour after work or whatever to go through your closet and just donate whatever you haven't worn this winter. That's a good time. It's good to do that stuff now versus when you're changing over your closet from spring to fall or vice versa, because a lot of like the secondhand stores aren't going to be taking winter stuff here soon. They're going to be just prioritizing their stuff to spring and summer. So if you already know you haven't worn it all winter, might be time to get rid of it. Maybe it was your favorite sweater 5 winters ago and you just haven't worn it the last 2 winters. Okay. So that leads into the other tip is, or not, the other portion of this tip is, or I should say, this is my third tip. Sorry. This is my third tip is to just prioritize the stuff. Okay. I'm not saying downsize your grandma's bureau that you had or whatever you have, or maybe it was um, a China hutch or whatever. Okay. I'm not saying do that now, but what I'm saying is start with the stuff that you're not emotionally attached to. Start with that stuff, put it down, figure out what you have. I mean, when you're going through items and you're doing that, just say, okay, I really want to keep X, Y, and Z. Maybe it's a China hutch or the bureau, or maybe it's a bedroom set that your grandma had, or, something that your parents had, or, whatever. And those things you're emotionally attached to because they have sentimental value, right? Or maybe it was something that maybe it was the first piece of furniture that you bought as a couple and you just don't, like a sofa table or something like that, and then you just don't want to get rid of that. So that's something that you're pretty emotionally attached to. However, like if you have, I'm going to go back to the crock pot one just because I know our kitchen gadgets. If you have a ton of one thing that you just don't use that many more, start with that stuff that you don't have an emotional attachment with. Start with that stuff, start with papers. Maybe you have old warranty stuff, like if you're going to clean out a file cabinet, maybe you have old warranty stuff for things that broke or you got rid of. Go through those and weed those out, and then you don't have to keep that stuff anymore. And I tell you what, cleaning out a file cabinet and just going through like health insurance papers and that kind of stuff. Because if you're like me, I just keep squirreling them away. And then all of a sudden the folder's like literally this thick, you know. So you just got to go through and be like, okay, well, I don't need 2018. That's overdone with. So I get rid of, my insurance benefits from 2018. They're not the same anyway. So yeah, it's always good to go through that stuff and just get rid of, because you're not emotionally attached to that stuff either. So start with the stuff that you're not emotionally attached to. Just get rid of it. Give it to Goodwill, whatever. Um, and then figure out good place to donate. That's another quick little tip that's not that wasn't part of my little thing here, but figure out where to donate this stuff that, is good in good use, or sell it. Sell it on Facebook. Maybe somebody who really wants something like that, if it's an Instant Pot and you're just not using it, maybe there's somebody out there that would just really be dying to have an Instant Pot. So there's always outlets for that kind of stuff. But so the first tip is to make a list. The second tip is to prioritize that list. Big jobs, little jobs, and then prioritize like which ones of those big jobs you want to see done first. Okay, or little ones of the little jobs you want to get done first. And then the other is to schedule the time to do it. So if it is a big job and you're going to need a weekend, then schedule that with your significant other or whatever. Or if you need kids to come help you or whatever, and just be like, hey, I really want to get this done. We're looking at wanting to travel. I just don't want so much stuff. Whatever your reasoning is, I'm just throwing out general reasons. And it's a good time too when you guys, if you have family around that are helping clear out stuff, it's a good time to sit and talk about those things that have emotional attachment, that you have emotional attachment to, like the bedroom set. Um, maybe you want it to go to somebody, or you maybe you need to see who wants it. So anyway, I hope these tips help. If you have any questions, please comment on the video. If you like this video and would like to hear more of this, I do have a group. The link is in the comments. Go ahead and click on that and join the group, and we'll be doing a lot more of this kind of thing in that group. So I hope you guys have a good day. We will see you next time.